Good morning, rise and shine. Happy Thursday. It's March 28th, 2024. Welcome to Ask the Shaman. I'm your host, Anthony Golden Sunshine, your friendly neighborhood shaman. Welcome, everyone. So how this show kind of works is I work with you. This is an interactive show. I come on and I'm here to discuss kind of whatever you want. We can talk about life, what's going on in your life, what's going on in your world. This is a good place for us to come together, have discussions about things like spirituality, magic, mysticism, health, exercise, just wellness all around. This is a channel dedicated to helping people discover new levels of wellness. So I want to welcome you all. It's a beautiful morning. Oh, and look who's here, my friend. Where are you? 1 million Buddhas. Hi, 1 million Buddhas. 1 million Buddhas. I want to thank you so much for the beautiful gift that you sent us that showed up in the mail. And then I was really stoked to see how Mary made such a neat video about it. It just kind of worked out just right. It was just right. So thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Last night was pretty fun. If you didn't catch it, we had a nice episode with me and Don Zane Kerfman of the Salkamunai Ayu. He's also one of my mentors and teachers on the Shamanic path. And we do a show every other Wednesday called Soar with us, like to fly like a bird. Last night we touched on a bunch of different subjects. It was pretty cool. So check that out if you can. I do want to talk today. I do want to talk a little bit about like spirit guides. Does anybody have questions? Does anybody want to know anything about spiritual guidance and your spirit guides and kind of what they are? I am going to be offering a workshop on April 7th, so you can sign up for that right away. There's going to be a workshop where I teach spirit guide connection. So first, creating a connection and a relationship, starting to develop a relationship with your guidance, and then communication, learning how to communicate with your guide. So it's kind of a two-piece kind of workshop. The first part will take about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. We'll have a 15-minute intermission. And then the second part will be about an hour. And then we'll have space for discussion. So the floor is open. Please ask any questions. I'm here to listen to you. What else do I got going on here? I can talk to you about some other things. I'm working on a video right now that I made for contrast therapy. I don't know how many of you are familiar with contrast therapy. So if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know that I'm big into cold immersions. So cold water immersions. I do cold baths and I do cold showers. And I also facilitate these things for others. We do them in a very unique way where it's kind of more like a shaman's bath or almost like a transformational kind of bath, or another word is like maybe like baptism. We have a really different way in which we bring these things out into the world. But contrast therapy is essentially when you go from cold to hot and hot to cold, extreme temperature extreme. So you can do this with a hot tub that's really hot, or like they make personal saunas. You can use those. But I've actually been going more regularly to a nearby facility, which I completely recommend. And it's called Elemental Cold Plunge. It's on Bassett Road in Westlake. And it's Cleveland's first cold plunge studio. They have really nice equipment there. They have 2 really nice tubs. And I think they're going to get more as time goes on. They started off with 1 and then they grew to 2. And these are really high-end types of cold water tubs. These are Moroshko Forge is what these are called. And they're pretty expensive, nice tubs, stainless steel insides, standalone chiller systems, really nice. Great tubs, great filtration and everything. They're nice and clean. And then also they have 2 infrared saunas there. So I like to go there. Mary now works there. So if you want to go check her out, you can go up there and see her. They do take walk-ins. It's better if you call because there are people that schedule and are members. You can have a membership there where you have like unlimited use of the stuff. So there's different like choices and things to kind of get with there. But you can go there and see Mary, and you can be guided in your first experience. Which is really nice. The guidance is really nice. Mary's a fantastic guide. I recommend that big time. But the contrast therapy. So actually, I have something here that I'll share with you. I'll read a little bit about it. I'll do a little reading about contrast therapy. All right. So contrast therapy. Contrast therapy, often involving alternating between hot and cold temperatures, offers several potential benefits for both physical recovery and overall well-being. Here are some key advantages. So I love the advantages of the cold and the hot put together. So a caution, though, is it's pretty intense training, and for beginners, it may be a little too much. So for beginners, I usually would have them start first with just about a 1 to 2 minute cold bath and not even go in the sauna right away. There's reasons why it's really hard on the vascular system, and it's better if you train yourself a little bit. So improved circulation. Alternating between heat and cold can enhance blood flow. Heat expands blood vessels, increasing blood flow to the area, while cold constricts blood vessels, reducing inflammation and flushing out toxins. This process helps nourish tissues and facilitate healing. Even more so when you're getting in the sauna after a cold plunge, and then you're pulling all those toxins out and sweating them out of your body. I feel fantastic after I do it. So reduced muscle soreness. Contrast therapy can be effective in reducing delayed onset muscle soreness after intense physical activity. The improved circulation helps to remove lactic acid and other waste products from muscles, potentially speeding up recovery time. So, athletes have been using ice baths now for a while. This is ancient human technology. The Nordic people have been using cold water immersion, since recorded history, and other people too around the world that kind of know like how powerful this is. Long before science showed them, said, yeah, so it works on your endothelial cells and your smooth muscle and your body, helping you to essentially work out your vascular system, the nervous system that controls your vascular system. Because if you know anything about me, that's why I like to teach about is the control of your nervous system. The better that your nervous system is working, the overall better health you have, not just physical, but also mental, emotional, and also connection to your spirit happens through your nervous system. Decreased inflammation and swelling. The cold component of contrast therapy can significantly reduce inflammation and swelling, particularly useful after an injury or surgery. The hot therapy then can promote blood flow to the area for faster healing. Okay, so think in terms of fluid dynamics. You're mostly fluid. You're over 60 to 70% water and fluid. So getting your vascular system to constrict and contract and constrict and contract, what does that do? It's like a little workout. It's doing something it doesn't normally do. So it's unlocking parts of your like primal physiology that's really important for your health. I've seen people start doing cold water immersions, and within a very short period of time, depression symptoms and anxiety symptoms kind of just start to melt away. It becomes a lifestyle. It's not just like something you do like a couple times, like, oh, that's great. This is something you commit to your life. And once you get into it and start doing it, you crave it. You want it really bad, because the days that you're not feeling so good, you're like, man, I feel a lot better after a cold bath. And even a sauna. Enhanced recovery from sports injuries. Athletes often use contrast therapy to recover from injuries more quickly. The therapy can help reduce pain and decrease the time needed to heal from strains, sprains, and other common sports injuries. Yeah, so it's moving. That fluid movement helps to get all of the nutrition and energy moving in the body. Chi, prana, kaosai, that's what we call it in our tradition. Living energy, Reiki, universal light. Pain relief. The therapy can act as a natural form of pain relief, leveraging the thermal effects of the body's pain receptors and reducing muscle spasms. So I've had people, a lot of people are afraid, especially when they have spasms in their back and everything. People that have migraines, they're typically afraid of cold because they associate it with going outside in the cold. And yeah, if you have muscle spasms in your back or any parts of your body and migraines, cold people know, like, man, being cold tightens that all up and I don't like it. This is completely different because it's not cold air. It's not surface cold. The whole idea is it's going deep into your tissues cold, and it feels completely different. I myself have had in the past had arthritis in my hips and issues with my back and stuff. And I don't anymore. It's not just because of the cold water immersion, but that's definitely something that helped. There's more that needs to happen than just take cold baths. Boosted immune system. Okay. That's a good one. That's a big one. Some studies suggest that regular use of contrast therapy can boost the immune system. The stress induced by the temperature changes prompts an adaptive response from the body, potentially increasing its ability to fight off infections. So that goes back to kind of what I was saying. This like kind of unlocks parts of your primal being, the base parts of your being, its ability to heal. It opens up that stuff because due to our incessantly kind of seeking comfort in our life, that's actually weakened us. We're afraid to be outside in the cold. Most people, I say, hey, take a cold shower, and they go make the same face. This one, ooh, I don't like to be cold. I hate this. Or they'll say, I hate the cold, is what they'll say. And I'll be like, okay, so I want you to inspect that response and what drives that. And then usually you get to the bottom of what it is, like, oh man, yeah, I don't like being uncomfortable. And that's what you're training yourself to do, is be uncomfortable for a short period of time. It's the same thing for the sauna, not quite as intense, depending on how hot the sauna is. I've been in 200 plus degree saunas. That's challenging. Okay. The sauna at Elemental goes to about 160-ish, maybe 165 sometimes, which is plenty hot. Used to get a good sweat going, good lather. And then here we go. We're talking about improved mental resilience. The process of adapting to the extreme temperatures can also build mental resilience. Regularly undergoing this somewhat uncomfortable process can increase one's tolerance to stress and discomfort. Perfectly said. So, essentially, by you choosing to get into something, doing something uncomfortable, I'm just going to be uncomfortable for a few minutes, right? You're accepting the temporariness of the situation, and you're accepting being uncomfortable for a short period of time. You're doing something you don't want to do. Okay. So when you do that, there's lots of science now, and you can check out Dr. Andrew Huberman. He talks about the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. So that's the two sides of the brain here. And what those really have to do with is kind of like your will, your strength, your inner strength and will to live. And they've noticed through research that every time someone does something they don't want to do, that grows this part of them and strengthens their will. Think David Goggins. That's something like he's really done big time to his brain. I'm not really big about how he teaches because it feels really boot campy in some sort of way, but I know he helps a lot of people, and I commend that. I mean, not everybody's for, everybody's hands kind of thing, but I'm just pointing out about the ability to adapt the brain. So imagine how much power that unlocks in you when you're releasing your fear and resistance to things that are uncomfortable, because we often miss opportunities and things in our life because of that, due to that. And then last, this one's really big. So I have lots of people. That's a big thing for me. People that show up in my reality and they're looking for healing, particularly surrounding sleep issues. Okay. I personally had severe sleep issues most of my life. I have no problem now at all. I can get right to sleep. If I'm awake, it's because I want to be awake. And again, that comes down to neurological training. If you begin to train your mind how to fall asleep, you take control of your nervous system. You take command because you are in control, even if you don't know it, right? So better sleep patterns. Contrast therapy may help to improve sleep quality by relaxing the body and reducing stress. Okay. The reduction in muscle soreness and pain can also contribute to more restful sleep. There's other things too. If you go deeper into the science, how it rebalances neurotransmitters and things. Some people think it may be counterintuitive, since you have a norepinephrine spike when you get in the cold, but that can kind of lower itself sort of quickly when you drop into your sympathetic nervous, your parasympathetic nervous system. So I'll take a cold shower shortly before bed. I feel real energized, but not hyper. I lay down, and then what I do is I start to extend my breath. I start to breathe in through my nose and sigh out through my mouth. Long sigh. That elongated sigh tells the body, relax. So you're taking control. It's another tier of control. So if I got in the cold water and it spiked my norepinephrine, my adrenaline, spikes the adrenaline like a lot, like 530%, but I'm able to go into my bed and now slow that down, take control. Even though I've raised it, I still have control of my body. You have control of your body in your breath. That's why I teach breathing. Breathing isn't just breathing. It's a control for your nervous system. And this is the primary key to health for all human beings, is learning how to self-regulate, how to regulate your nervous system. And that's what this is all about. That's what the contrast therapy is for. It's great and it's healthy for your body. At a deeper level, it's training your nervous system how to be resilient. So despite these benefits, and it's important to note that contrast therapy may not be suitable for everyone, okay? Individuals with certain medical conditions, such as cardiovascular diseases, high blood pressure, or pregnant women, should consult a healthcare provider before starting contrast therapy. Always approach contrast therapy with caution, especially when starting out, to see how your body reacts to treatments. Very good. So we got to talk a little bit about contrast therapy this morning, and that's something I really love, and I've been doing a lot more of lately. So again, shout out to Elemental Cold Plunge in Westlake, and I recommend that you check them out. Check them out online. Call Mary, talk to Mary. She can get you set up if you want to take that adventure. Hi, Tony. Hi. I would like to understand spirit guides better. Good. I feel my dad and maternal grandma are two of my closest guides, angels. I get a lot of signs from them, but I know I have many guides. Yes, we all have many guides. So yeah, if you want to learn more about guides, what I would say is, if you want to learn more about the connection, come to the class. I don't know if you're signed up for it, but there's going to be a workshop on April 7th, and we're going to all work together to get into there. So when it comes to spiritual guidance, these can show up as people, they don't have to. They can show up as animals. They can show up as basically anything, what they can, because they're representations of your higher mind. So it's not so much that it's the person, because the person that was in the body is temporary. That's an illusion. That only lasts here. When we come out of our body, the story is gone and another version of us arises. So you're talking, when we're talking to our guidance, it's essentially our brain makes it, this energy, into a form in which we can understand and have a relationship with. So that's really what it comes down to your spiritual guidance, is first learning how to create space within you so you can open up to make a communication. Okay. So that takes some guidance. It takes some initiation, some shamanic types of initiation to open up those neural pathways, open up the capability for you to let thinking and analytics go. So it's like a form of trance, meditation, or hypnosis, letting the incessant thoughts move to the side so that way you can move into straight feeling. And that's the first step. And then the next step that we'll work in is connection. How do you connect? We'll work into that, opening up ourselves and using particular sequences of words and connection to bring connection of the spirit to you. That itself is another piece of it. So first, getting the mind out of the way. The next is making the connection, creating that connection. And there's some exercises we do to make that connection more strong into the energy field. And then the next part is beginning to create a relationship. And that begins usually with sharing energy. When I connect with my guides, that's typically what I do. I may sit down and I send them something. I send them some Sami. Sami is refined light in our tradition. So I'll just muster up a little bit of light and send it out to them. So I just sent some out. And what it's doing is I'm touching one of my angel guides. And as I touch an angel guide, the angel guide is coming to me. Now he's kind of asking me, what's going on, Anthony? But I'm friends. So it's like you have to create a relationship. And it may start off as one way, but just like everything, just like you're evolving, that relationship can evolve. It can evolve into a much more powerful, enriched relationship. Please excuse me. Now, people ask, well, why would I want to talk to my guides? Why would I want to do that? Well, it's because it's a higher part of your mind. So it helps you to create and generate and become in contact with new ideas and thought patterns, which is essential for your growth. Because if you keep recycling old patterns, you stay stuck in an old pattern. Even if your life, if you like the way it is right now, good, stay there. But the thing is change is inevitable. And as we continue along our evolutionary path of becoming, homo luminous, light being of light version of human, we're going to need to more and more to connect to the higher guidance, because that's what will send you to where you're going. So there's many people that are on their spiritual journey and they reach the crossroads where I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel lost. I feel stuck. And that is usually the symptom pointing to that it's time for you to make connection to your spiritual guidance. Now, again, this isn't something you just talk to your guides when you need help or when there's trouble. This is a relationship. So it's something you have to do regularly. You can't have much of a relationship with anyone or anything without repeated contact. Then you're just acquaintances and you can't get much out of it. But when you start to work with spirits, you can even create spirits. That's the cool part. You have the ability to create spirit. You can create that. You can create a spirit to help you do something, but you have to develop a relationship with it. So that way it has coherence and knows what to do. But yeah, so that's a little bit about spiritual guidance. If anybody has any other questions, I'd love to hear that. Good morning, Brianna Burgess. Good to see you, dear. Queenie. Hi, Queenie. Morning, Pacos. Have a beautiful day. You too. Weeks of flying by. Everything's flying by. Time dilation has become very, very much more intense, I would say, recently. And I'm looking forward to everything that's changed. There's so much that's happening. The new moon, the full moon, equinox, Holy Week. And now we're coming up on a solar eclipse. So I'm super excited to see how these new energies align on the earth. I do also believe with that will come challenges. I never tell anyone like, hey, you're never going to grow unless you accept challenge. Okay. You're never going to get what you want in life. You're never going to step away from the things that bother you unless you evolve. And evolution requires us solving problems, which aren't actually problems. They're just opportunities to grow. Time has been a roller coaster. I'm excited by the new energy too. Yeah, my roller coaster has just been like this. It's just flying, just going really fast. Time's just zipping. It's been for years, but now even more so. All right, so the floor is open. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, I would love to hear those. I'm going to blow my nose. I'm going to check my horn. And then if nobody's got anything they want to reach into, I'm going to do a little meditation with you. Okay, the horn works. The horn worked. Now I'm going to try my lights. Haha. That's my favorite thing to say. I don't know why. The horn works. Now let's try the lights. Okay. I'm going to roll up my sleeves for this. All right. So I'm going to start off today with some tapping. So I don't know if anyone's ever done tapping before, but this is actually a really powerful technique for somatic release. I always start at my eyebrows, but before I begin, I take in a couple breaths. I take in a big breath. I breathe into my belly and my chest, and I let go with a soft sigh. Wow. And actually, I'm going to put my left hand on my belly and my right hand on my heart. And I'm going to breathe into my belly and my chest, holding it and releasing. So good. Belly, chest. Hold. Release. Make sure you use that sigh, belly, chest. Hold it. Release. Feel the air come in, feel the air leave you. Air is spirit too. And you can invite that spirit here. Breathe in. You can I invite the spirit of air here. Deep breathing. Belly, chest. Chest. Breathing up into the head now. Belly, chest, head. All the way up. Drop back down. Breathe up from the belly to the head. And as you exhale, back down to your belly and go down to your tailbone. My exhale touches the tailbone as I inhale from the tailbone to the scalp. All the way up, waking up the Kundalini. Waking up the fluid of the spine. Up. As you breathe in, you're sending fluid up your spine into your brain. As you exhale, it all drops and drains back down towards the tailbone. And again, you breathe from the tailbone up, sending the fluid and energy into the pineal gland and up and through the top of your head. And as you exhale, down through you and down through your tailbone into the earth. So now you're becoming a circuit. You're connecting from the earth up to the heavens, and from the heavens on your way down. Okay. Up to the heavens, down to the earth. You're becoming the central circuit between the earth and the heavens. Up, all the way up and down. 3 more, all the way up. Look up and look down. Okay, look up as you go up and down. Once more, we're going to hold this one up. Hold, squeeze into the top of your head. Squeeze everything to the top. And release. Relax, drop into your body. Just drop into your body. And now what we can do is we can move into kind of expanding our space. And I always just like to use my intention to do it. I'll just open my bubble. But another way you can do it is I put my hands in front of my heart like this. And as I inhale, I'm taking the energy of my heart and bringing it over my head. And I'm spreading it into my bubble, into my aura field. Yeah, there it goes, moving. And I bring it all the way around and back to my tailbone where my hands meet in front of my groin. And then I bring my hands up and I'm taking the energy of my tailbone and my gut up to my heart. And I'm taking that elevator, that rocket ship out through the top of my head. All the energy of my body now up and aligned, and I'm spreading it out, taking it back down to the earth as it comes back into my tailbone. And I draw it up, pull it up, take a deep breath. Energy comes overhead and whoosh. So this is an exercise in itself. And sometimes I'll do this for just about 10 minutes. I'll just sit here and circulate my energy. And sometimes I'll speed it up. Two more. Last one. Relax. Close your eyes. Drop into your body. Relax. All the energy's moving now. My vertical column's alive. My bubble's alive. It's like a torrid field of energy. Comes up through the top of you, circulates, comes around and back up. You're connecting to the upper world, the middle world, the lower world, and coming back and up and through. Really cool exercise. I recommend trying that a lot, doing that a lot. So now our bubble's open. And when your bubble's open, this creates a container for your spirit and spiritual guidance and your higher self to come in and do the work. So we created this beautiful container. And then what you do is I just open my hands like this, right? This is how I pray. I just open up myself. And then I say, I'm open to receive my highest guidance. I'm open to receive my connection to the highest power. And if you have any particular spirits you want to work with or do work with, you can call them in now. You can call them in. So if you work with, say, the spirit of Jesus, I'm not a Christian, but I work with the spirit of Jesus. I call the spirit of Jesus here. I call the spirit of Buddha. I call the spirits of all ascended masters into this space. That's what I'm feeling today. We need masterful energy. Let us all become masters of our energy, great masters of light and beings of wisdom. We ask that you come into this space and help us connect with our inner being and bring to us downloads and information to help us learn how to be masters and walk the way of the master. We invite you here. And as I do that, I'm inviting this energy into my bubble. It's now in the bubble. It's in your bubble, my bubble. And there's vibration. If you sit here with your hands open, you may become aware of, whoa, the vibration in my space has changed. So for me, it's the tips of my fingers. My first 2 fingers on each hand are super cold. So I'm taking in lots of frequency in through these fingers, bzzz, coming into my body. And as that's happening, the intellectual mind wants to go, what is that? What does that mean? So I try to just let that get out of the way and I let it tell me. I don't try to figure out what it is. I let that energy come in and I feel it. And if it wants to tell me, it will tell me. So what I'm taking in is this kind of beautiful violetish blue energy in through my fingers. And it's coming in and it's like communication from the ascended masters, I've called it. So I may not understand everything that they're giving me, but a lot of it has to do more with like my DNA and my cells. They're helping. I'm asking for their help. Ask and you shall receive. I ask for the universe, the cosmos, the highest forms of light and beauty to come here and bring assistance to us. Help us to come online and become our highest possible selves. Help us to become loving to the world and loving to each other and be of service to each other. Help us to generate Aini, divine reciprocity. Help us to give without expectation of how we shall receive. Let us be loving and charitable and compassionate, and let us hold each other in high regard and loving warmth. Gosh, my whole hands now are buzzing. So crazy. My first 2 fingers freezing. The rest of my hands feel like fire. Amazing. And this is all it takes for you to open up. You don't have to be, I don't sit here. I'm not going to talk about all kinds of goofy shit that other people do. They can do whatever they want. You can call in your spirit any way you want to. I'm just giving you potential. I try to make it very easy because if it starts off easy, now you're not caught in a recipe and you can begin to develop your relationship. Very good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do some tapping. Tapping is really powerful. I like to set an intention beforehand. And my intention is going to be through my tapping, I wish to release any trapped heavy energy. Anything that's trapped or heavy in my body that I no longer need, the tapping will help me to release that. So I just take a couple fingers like this, usually I'll take these cold ones. That's why they're cold. I get it. Thank you. A Nike Kuyaki. The medicine's coming into my fingers, I see. All right, so we're tapping over the eyebrows. And you just close your eyes and you drop in and you just tap, 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 tap around your eyebrows. Tap over the eyebrows. You can come into the median of the forehead and come up into the scalp over the head. And I go a straight line all the way down around the back of my head. And then I split off behind my ears and I come down around my jaw. And then I come back up my cheeks around the outside of my eyes, back to the center. And then I follow it again. So I'm creating kind of a pattern, almost like this helmet pattern. I'm creating a pattern. And what this can do is you can use your mind's eye disciplined imagination. And what I like to do sometimes is I create as if I have on like a helmet made of light. Your light helmet. And this connects into your brain and helps you to get things. Again, be okay with using your imagination. It's supposed to be fun. Don't take all this stuff too serious. Spirit likes it a lot better if you're in a place of play, because that's what they love about us. They like that we can play with them, right? They don't take anything serious because they're not afraid of dying. Okay. We take things way too serious because we're afraid of dying. Cool part is you'll never die. You won't stay this forever. You won't stay. I won't be Anthony forever, but I am eternal. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tap under the eyes. So I come right here to the cheekbones, and I'm tapping on the cheekbones. Tap, 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 tap. And then move around. Come up around the sides of the eyes, into the nose, the bridge of the nose, over your eyebrows. So I'm going to start to go in circles around my eyes. And I'm just releasing the tapping. I'm letting go. I'm tapping into my body. And I'm just releasing. You don't have to have like big, strong, powerful releases. These little releases, these little trickle releases are very powerful too. And then you're going to go the other way, around the eyes. Around the eyes. I want you to just play around. Play it up to your nose. And if you find anything that feels tender, which you may, tap on it just a little more. Tap, tap, tap. Focus on wherever. And you'll notice if you find a spot that feels tender, if you tap it for a little bit or around it, on it and around it, it loosens up and it doesn't hurt anymore. You're moving fluid. You're waking up. This is all nervous system waking up. This kind of stuff, your facial nerves are parts of your cranial nerve system, and they're very powerful in helping you to shift your nervous system. Okay, now I'm going to go on my upper lip through the teeth. Tap, 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 tap. Now I'm going to go down to my bottom teeth through my lip. And I'm going to do my chin. Good. Now we're going to do our collarbones. Collarbones. Tap, 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 tap. Come to the center of your chest and go down your breastbone, all the way down to just your belly, and then come back up. Tap, 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 tap. All the way down to the belly, and back up. Tap, 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 and all the way down to the belly. Okay, now we're going to relax with the tapping, and we're going to take in a nice deep breath. That was a good breath. And relaxing. Very good. So that's kind of a tapping session. Wow. It's amazing if you just tap a little bit. My whole body now, the aliveness of my body is on a different level. Let me know how you feel after that tapping session. Like, most people have no idea that doing some tapping on your head, on your face, and how it awakens the cranial nerves and the nervous system can be so powerful for self-healing. The more you do it, the better it works. Awesome. Morning, ladies and Mark. There's Tom. Nardu, I hope you have a good question for me. Living so close, is it possible to take your online class in person? Well, if I had enough participants, sure. And that probably will come into fruition. I actually am revamping. I'm changing the course in the class, and it's going to be a bit different coming forward. They've all been different. So even though I'm teaching the same basic tools, depending on the group, I don't like to have like a course plan, sort of. I kind of have like a skeleton in which I follow, but the rest is very much intuitive. But yeah, I would love to do in person. I just need to have enough people to make it worth it, to make it so I can actually create some abundance and make a living, so that's the important part. I do personal training. So I do have people all over the world that come to me for one-on-one personal training. And so some of these people come to me once or twice a month. It depends on your level of abundance. Usually these are people that have, good levels of abundance. So they're able to invest in themselves every month. They invest $200 into themselves every month. So that way they can continue their growth. So some of those people I see once a month, and some of these people I've been seeing for 3 years now, since I started to teach. My hands are tingling now. Yeah, mine too. Everything's tingling. Good morning, Tom. The tapping is a great tool. Oh my gosh. Yes. And Nardu says, the wife and I are going over your class options now. We just want to do in person. That's cool. I just don't really have group classes available for that. but there is in person. We can always set something up in person. You have to make more investment into the in person. But I am kind of looking at that. I would love to. I think in person is really fun. It's in person virtual too, as well. That's the thing most people don't understand. When it comes to energy, it doesn't know time nor distance. So there's things later on in the mentorship that require in-person kinds of connections, like one-on-one physical types of connections. But the vast majority of the teachings require that not at all. It just requires us to be connected in the space, so I can send to you the initiation codes. They're actually like soul codes. I'm able to transform them, transfer them to you, and then they become yours. And then we're all connected to the same lines of light, to the same God. But maybe we can work something out. I mean, I haven't really ventured into there yet, because most of the work I do is people all over the world. So I don't have a lot of people in this area that want to take the course. So I have to make it. So my question, is there any technique to draw energy and tune in the guides? Yes. And I'm teaching that. So if you want to learn about that, what you can do is you can come to the April 7th workshop. It's a 3-hour workshop on, I think it's a Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember now, but it's April 7th. It's a workshop. And so in that 3-hour, might somewhere between 3 and 4 hour workshop, we will go into the deep dive of how to connect to your guidance, how to begin the initiation process. And this isn't just for that guide. You'll take these tools with you, and as you master them, you'll be able to help other people too with these tools. You'll be able to help other people unlock their spiritual guidance. And that's always my goal. My goal is to help other people build medicine within them so they can help others open up. Because chances are, as you open up to your guidance, that's going to attract other people to you that are looking for their guidance. It's kind of like the laws of nature, laws of the universe. But yeah, there definitely is. There's many techniques. The one I teach is very kind of straightforward and potent. This is the techniques that I've used personally to develop my personal relationships with spirit, which I would say are very, very unique and intense. And so they've asked me to share that wisdom that they've given me. It's not mine. I can't say it's Anthony's wisdom. It isn't. It's not mine at all. It's spirit wisdom. And I'm here to share that. Yeah. Wow. We went through 43 minutes already. I couldn't believe it. Has anybody got any questions today? I didn't see anything really pop up. A little bit. Thank you, Nardu. You always have something. And if you have any questions, brother, please pop them up. I know you like to give other people a chance, but nobody else is capitalizing on any chances. So if there's anything in the world of wellness or shamanism or metaphysics, I don't know if I'll know the answer. If I don't, I can always write it down and I can come back in the next episode after I find it. So there's just lots of possibility. I can always find lots of potential and possibility. I will tell you all to book a session with us at thepositivepineapple.org. If you've not yet been to our website, go check it out. Check out our list of services. We have a pretty neat list of services and things that you can connect with. We help people in all capacities, so everything from holistic transformation and healing all the way to shamanic training. So yesterday I had all three. There's also like consultation and energy tune-ups where I sit with people. It's just like a little 30-minute kind of thing where we sit there and we just kind of, whatever you need work on right now, we get on there right now, and then we work in your energy, and then I download and share with you ways that you can begin to create new possibility in your life. Because lots of people, that's just part of life. Sometimes shit gets heavy and you feel stuck, and what it takes is just a fresh perspective, and that begins to open up a new way for you. And that's what I love to do. I love to help people generate new perspectives. One new thought changes your world. If you can have one new thought, if I can influence you in any way to have one new thought, that changes your world, which changes my world. So book a session with us at thepositivepineapple.org. Help support our mission of healing. If you like what we're doing and you'd like for us to continue and you want to help support others, if you want to sponsor other people in their healing, because we help people all over the world every day for free, okay? We need your help so that way we can sustain that and keep going. So help support our mission of healing. There's donation capabilities in the description of this video. Also, if you visit our website, scroll down, donations. We rely on the kindness of others to continue our journey. We need your help. And I want to thank everybody that does donate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This helps maintain INI. As I give out energy to the world and you give energy back to me, that puts us in INI. I don't think some people understand if they're here on these things with these live streams, myself and the other shamans, and they're not, contributing. This knocks you out of balance. It will, because you're taking cosmic energy, you're taking energetic light. And if you're taking and not giving, what happens is that puts you out of balance, puts you out of INI. And typically what happens is some sort of issue will arise, which isn't bad either. That's just how it is. That's how we learn. You can't do anything wrong. And that's what I'm going to tell you. Everything's going to be okay. It always is. All righty. I think I touched on everything there. And nobody else has brought any questions or comments or concerns. So I'm going to breathe us out of here then. I'm going to take us out of here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some like a breath medley where I do several different types of breathing. And I'll just kind of share with you these types of breathing. So the first type of breathing, what we're going to do is relaxation breathing. And relaxation breathing always has to do with your extended exhale. So you're breathing in through your nose. And I go out through my mouth. The sigh. That sigh is so very powerful. Long sigh. Long sigh. Long sigh. Long sigh. Long sigh. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Hold this one. Hold. Squeeze your belly. Release. All the tension and pressure go. Woo! Lots of vibration. So that's a relaxation style of breathing where you're taking in these big full breaths using the diaphragm. Extend your exhale. Soft, sizzling sigh. Ooh. So my whole body's buzzing in such a beautiful way. If I wanted to, I could probably curl up in the seat and go right to sleep. This is the style of breathing I use to put myself to sleep, okay? So if you're ever having a hard time sleeping, the mind's running, you're nervous, you're overthinking, you have a choice. You can choose to start to drop into your breath and make the conscious effort to not try to stop thinking. You're just taking your attention away. So you're essentially releasing your attachment to the thoughts and bringing your awareness into your breathing. Because if you're focused on your breathing, you won't be overthinking. Relaxation breathing. So that's one. I'll do another in a moment. Hold on. How do you get a stagnant person to start moving? You don't. You can't control anyone or what they choose. So how do you get a stagnant person to start moving? You don't. Unless they asking you for help or anything like that. Other than that, you just lead by example. So yeah, so you can't save anyone. You're not here to rescue anyone in that sense. A person who's stagnant and not doing much, it has to do with where they're at on their journey. You can ask them if they would like some assistance or help. If they say no, you just leave them alone. But as to get someone to do something, I don't really ever recommend doing that. Don't try to get people to do things. You can communicate with them. You can tell them that something maybe you notice, or you can ask them, like, is it okay if I talk to you about something? It's really important when you are trying to help someone. I've learned this the hard way. When you are trying to help someone, to be tactful with your communication and don't overbear them. Try not to tell them like what to do. Get what I'm saying? Especially not at first, not till they invite you. If they invite you, like, oh yeah, well, tell me what I can do. Now you've had the invitation. So first is, if you really want to help someone, you need their invitation to help. Not everyone wants to change, okay? And that's not up to us. Cool question, though. I have been fortunate to I'm fortunate to attend an in-person meeting with Anthony and Mary, and many, many times in a virtual landscape. It felt the same to me, and the energy is just as strong, if not stronger. I agree to that. I think hands-on healing can be extremely powerful. I do lots of hands-on healing for people. Those, I would say, are my most powerful physical healings. But I'd say my overall most powerful forms of healings come more in helping people just connect to new thoughts. That's true healing. Sometimes getting pain out of the way for someone opens them to new possibility and thoughts. And that's where the healing really is. Not the law, not the removal, not the relief of the pain, but the change in how the person's reacting to their reality. That's my thought for next time. I have a few people in my life that are totally energy stationary. Let them be. Okay? Let them be. It's not up to us. And I understand, you have to understand why. Why is it that you want them to move? It's because it has more to do about how you feel than how it actually helps them. So you can't help anybody. You can't only lead a horse to water, but even that, you don't want to whip them. You don't want to drag anyone to the water, because that actually will repel them further away. Love them. That's the best thing we can do. Why should we structure our food and water? Well, because it's energy, okay? And so when you're structuring it, you're putting it in alignment and order, so that way it plugs into the body in a more beautiful way. So you wouldn't want to take in stagnant, staticky energy into your body. And water is amazing. It has memory like nothing else. Its ability to hold information is far above anything else on the planet. It's like it's its own species. Like, I don't see water as just like, we just like, oh, it's water. It's alive. It's like in a way you would say it's an alien, like we're aliens on this planet, but it's a living energy is what water is. And so the water, the way that it's used through our plumbing and everything, it usually fragments the energy of the water. And these are things that have been measured through something called cymatics and experiments by a man called Dr. Emoto, where he shows you, he actually takes photos and pictures of water molecules after you talk to them, right? So he had like experiments where he had people sit with water or plants or other things and talk to them either in a rude way, saying like, you're bad, you're no good kind of thing. And then saying beautiful things to them, like, I love you. Some of the people, they didn't talk at all. All it was is intention. And what they could see is how the water changed. So this also has to do with like how, if you're nice to a plant, you sing to a plant, you play music for a plant. I love to. We have plants in our house, and I meditate with them and I pray with them, and I see them as living beings, and I treat them as such as well. They're high intelligence. But it's by working with that, you're actually shifting the water molecules inside of them. And this leads to them growing and being more healthy. Same thing works for human beings. When I do energy healing for someone, that's at the deepest level that's happening. I'm restructuring water. That's what's happening. I'm fully aware of how that's happening. That's even my intention. When I call any energy and I put hands on someone, I'm asking for the restructuring of cells, restructuring of primarily water. Because if I can change the vibration of the water in your body, this changes the tuning of your cellular structures. Do you see? Because everything's vibration. So if we change the formation of the water molecules, it changes the way that you're taking in information into the cells, thus growing you in your reality. So yes, you should structure your food. You should structure your water. And what does that mean? It's simple. We don't have to make it it takes practice, okay? But you don't have to make it this big production. You can make it really nonchalant. I personally, when I sit down for my meal, I sit down, I take in a big, deep breath. I sigh it out, put my hands around my meal like a little dome. I create a little energy dome. And through my hands and through the energy dome, I'm sending my intentions into the food, my intentions for it to be of perfection. It's perfect for my body. It's perfect nutrition for my being. It's everything that my body needs. And I'm giving my love. And I'm so grateful for this food. And it's so grateful for me. It's given itself to me to help me be alive. And I'm so grateful. And you're giving all your gratitude and love to that food that restructures the water molecules. As you ingest them, you're taking in structured water. It's the same thing with the water. Put your hands around it. My intention, I'm sending my intention, my loving intention is for this water to be of perfect structure, to match into my body and hydrate me and bring vast health into my being. And that's all it takes, just a few seconds. Now you can do this more kind of incognito, like if you're in public and you don't want to, be judged by others, you can just do this real nonchalantly. You don't have to close your eyes or anything. You could just take your cup. You could just hold it in your hands. I always like to use both hands because that's like a balance. You're going to be talking to someone, but still have a side quest going on where you're structuring the water, structuring your coffee, structuring your drink, whatever it may be. Same thing with your food. You could just put your hands on the table next to it. You could have a conversation while someone's talking, just taking a few seconds to slip in your intention. Okay. I prefer to do it stronger like this. This works better for me. But there's times where I do it just kind of nonchalantly. I keep it kind of to myself. Not all spiritual things need to be, you don't got to put it on the ground and hail to it and pray to it. You can. That's totally okay. I've done stuff like that, meditation with water and things like that. You can do that kind of stuff. But just your general taking time all the time to place your intention into things, because your intention drives all energy. That's how it all works. It's your intention. What is your intention? What do you want to happen? What is the energy that you're vibrating out into the world around you? And that's why I always like to work with gratitude, because gratitude is such a powerful energy. And that's why I send gratitude into my food, into my water. I'm so grateful for you. Oh, it's so great. I got tingles all over my body. As soon as I say gratitude, it turns on in me. Cool question, Brianna. Thank you. Jeff says, I find myself in a state of flow and self-love most of the day when I am home alone. But when my significant other comes home, sometimes I find she says certain things I feel off and out of alignment, and it's difficult to get back. Are there some techniques I can use to help this process? Okay, yeah. So there's some sort, I would say the first thing is centering yourself and then opening yourself up for conversation. So this is all very kind of vague of what you're saying. My significant other comes home and I find when she says certain things, I feel off and out of alignment. So whatever she's communicating. So there's a lot of information there that we could go in. We were here, and I recommend that we can sit, in a session, and we can go deeper into this because there's something there. There's some sort of trigger that's happening there because you're saying I feel off and out of alignment. So something's triggered you. All right. So I would start to go into what is she saying that's triggering you, starting to understand what's happening in your mind as that's happening, because it's a symptom. Understand that when I feel out of alignment, off and out of alignment, that's a symptom. And the symptom is simply a messenger saying that you got to make some sort of internal change inside of you. I know you see the issue as somewhere outside of you, like my partner's causing this. Well, not exactly. Your partner's vibration is matching with a vibration inside of you, something that's unhealed and needs rectified, and it's bringing it forward so you can see it. So I would say to meditate on these feelings, okay? So whatever it is that you feel, whatever's coming in, breathe with it. So I would say sit with what's happening when my partner begins to talk. What is she saying that's triggering me, right? Asking yourself open-ended questions without trying to ponder them, and then breathe with it. That relaxation breathing. What part of me is being triggered? What need is not being met? Okay. And then it comes down to communication. Once you figure out what's going on inside of you, then, which may take some deep diving. And if you can't figure it out, I'm here to help you with that. And then this opens up potential for communication with your partner, and things can grow or change. Okay. But that's not something that's out of the ordinary. There's lots of people that feel that way. They have that feeling come up, but it's directly related to specific issues in which need to be rectified within you. I'm going to meditate on that. Thanks. Good. Please do. Does the genie does the genie go back in the bottle? Well, whatever do you mean? Tell me what you're asking. Does the genie ever go back in the bottle? hmm. The genie. I guess I don't see it that way. Does the genie go back in the bottle? Who's the genie? And what's the bottle? That's what I would ask, because I understand that's metaphorical in some sort of way. But I guess it has to do with your perception of what is the genie and what is the bottle. I don't understand what you're asking me, because I can't say what your perception is. So maybe you can expand that question a little more, Miss Roach. Thank you for your wisdom. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jessica. It's always my pleasure to sit here and try to share as much as I can. I'm learning every day. Every day, that's something that I pride myself on, is every day I work to become a better human being. I work to become a better priest. I work to become better at communicating. I work at trying to cultivate a more beautiful and connected community. I work hard. I work really hard, and I'm proud of that. I love to work hard. I feel like everything I put into everything I do, even though it's really hard sometimes, is totally worth it. The emails, the inpouring of love that I get from people, so many people. I get hate from people too. That happens plenty. I just choose not to put too much of my attention there. There's going to be people that hate. That's just part of what I'm doing. And if people aren't mad or hating on me, that means I'm not doing something right. It means I'm doing everything right. The vast majority of people give me love because I give love into the world. Now, I don't put up with any shit. That's what I'll tell you right now. I don't put up with anybody's crap. So if you give me crap, I don't have a big problem. And, this is part of my ego as well. I'm under no delusions that I don't have an ego and I still have things to work on. But I've come to a crossroads in my reality where I'm just done trying to people please. I don't want to people please in any sort of way. I'm not here to make everybody happy. I'm here to share wisdom, and you can take it with you or not. That's up to you. Whatever you choose, I love you anyway. Right? I don't have to give a shit about what you think to love you. Right? I don't. Whatever you think's up to you, and I'm okay with that. So, I'm judged by people. People make assumptions, projections. Happens often. I get into our small arguments on the internet, and I don't take any shit from anybody. These are things I'm sure will change as I continue to evolve. I'm a middle-aged man, but I'm a very young wizard. That's kind of how I look at things, To some of the people around me, I may seem very advanced in some sort of way. I assure you I'm not. We're all in this together. We're all part of this one living thing. Each one of us has a beautiful talent and gift and energy and medicine to give to the world. And that's my primary goal, is trying to help as many people who are ready, just the people that are ready. I'm not here to force any ideas or feelings on anyone else. If you're not feeling what I'm doing, I'm not for you. Good. That's okay. Can we be friends anyways? That's would be what I'm asking. I don't want to cut anyone off or push anyone away. You can do that on your own. I learned that on my journey, that cutting people off, that's a common idea in this reality and stuff. Even like therapists and shit tell people, which I totally don't agree with, because if I have to cut you off, that's like a form of passive aggression. There, I cut you off. Go with the flow, because your energy will naturally peel away whatever doesn't belong with you and draw to you whatever's meant to you. If you're reacting by cutting, what does that do? You're actually putting hoocha into the world. That's a form of aggression. I don't need to be aggressive. I don't need to cut anybody off. All I need to do is stop giving attention to where I don't want to place attention. People fall away on their own. Okay? That's the whole thing, going with the process. You don't need to fight anything. I promise you that. If you're fighting, you're giving energy to what you're fighting. That's how it works. Yeah. All right. Well, I got to get out of here because I got to head off to do some work with a client. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do today is something I haven't done in a while, and that's a plumbing service call. I'm mostly retired from the mechanical contractor kind of field, but I do respond to friends and things when they call me and they need help. So I have a friend of mine today, and I happen to have space in my schedule to go help him with his drain. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to put on my work boots. I love that. I am going to be doing some, anybody who's local, if you need your HVAC checked out, if you need your furnace cleaned or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. I can set that up and help you out with that. What else? What else? Again, be on the lookout. We have lots of new events and things coming up. We have so much that we're currently creating. I'm really excited about. And again, the Spirit Guide Connection and Communication Workshop will be on April 7th. Sign up as soon as you can, so that way we can get a good head count and see what's going on. All right. I send you light. Light. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your week and a beautiful weekend. I have this feeling that I may pop in for a drop-in live stream soon where I'm going to probably do some healings. I feel called. It's been a while since I've come on and done any healings. So that may happen. So if you get to show up for that, good. I'm look to do that. It's been a while. I'm just calling to me. It's been a while since I've done any live healing, and I would like to do that. So I think that's going to come up probably this weekend. I'll probably, whenever it calls, I'm going to pop on and do it. Check out the YouTube channel. If you're not on the YouTube channel, go there, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. That helps me out. I am a monetized channel, and everybody that subscribes helps me gain just a little bit more. I hardly make any money on it at all, but something's better than nothing, and you got to start somewhere. Okay. Yeah. So, and check out the videos. I have the most recent video is a nervous system reset where I'm doing some breath work, meditation, qigong, all together. That's really cool. I'm working on another video right now. I'm almost done editing it for YouTube. It's where I made a video of my contrast therapy, like I was talking this morning. So, you can kind of witness directly what contrast therapy is. Well, I think that's it. I think I'm going to stop right there. I want you all to have a beautiful day. Beautiful. Have a beautiful day. I love you all so much. And I'll be back soon. Anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always here. Love, peace, and chicken grease.